Well, let's go ahead and take. Oh, you got the thing. You got the plasma cannon.
Yeah, it doesn't work really well though.
Really? Did they
There
nerf
we
it?
go.
Oh,
No, it just when I hold it to charge up, sometimes it doesn't do anything except waste my time.
oh. You got a
See,
chicken
now
over
it's
here.
working.
Got some chicken. I'll pick up the chicken. Oh, there it goes. That has like an infinite range, doesn't it?
It goes a long, long way.
All right. So let's take a look at the let's take a look at the reactor. Here we go. So we
Okay.
just teleport down into the reactor pit. Yeah, I flew down here a minute ago.
There we go.
I didn't quite get what was going on.
Yeah, you can keep. Yeah, those elevators go all the way down. Okay, so
So this is the turbine. You've got it.
yeah.
I've seen them. This is the first one I've seen upside down, or rather, I guess it doesn't really matter which side is up.
Well, see, the way I think about it is that the steam would rise. You're allowed to configure this horizontally or vertically.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way I think about it, in a real turbine, the steam rises upward, so you'd want to have a vertical orientation.
Right.
And it makes sense to me to have the blades close to the steam input, so the steam cools as it goes up, and the
So
water would be captured at the top. And then I put the coil up at the top just because there's space up there.
right, right. That makes sense. Makes sense. So with so this thing, so no, my question was, this is not cool. There's no coolant in this.
There is no separate coolant in here in the way that there is in our other reactor at the
Yeah.
spawn base. And the reason is that the water is what's cooling it. The water is running through the housing. The heat transfers from the fuel rods to the housing.
Uh-huh.
Then that water gets turned to steam, and that's what's cooling it down. The steam is transferred over to the turbine, and it cools as it rises and pushes the turbine blades.
Mm-hmm.
Then when it condenses back into water, and the turbine feeds it back into the reactor here.
I see. But without coolant in the reactor, enough coolant, doesn't it burn through the yellorium too quickly?
It doesn't. It's still
Oh.
being cooled effectively by the steam.
Oh. Can we turn it on?
Yeah, let's. I'll see if I just. Actually, this will be educational. I'll go ahead and deactivate the turbine,
All right.
and then activate the reactor. And if you click on that and look at the heat, that is going to get stupendously high very,
Yes.
very quickly.
Oh my.
Okay, now I'm going to activate the turbine.
Oh, the water level. Okay, I see the steam and the water level there, and the heat is in fact going down. Okay.
Right. So now, if you click on the turbine controller right here,
Uh-huh.
you see
Oh,
my rotor speed is starting to climb,
right.
but right now it's not generating any power because I haven't engaged the coils. So the turbine is spinning freely, and I let it do that until the RPMs climb up to a range where it's going to generate a lot of power, because they'll climb faster when the coil is disengaged.
I see.
Now the
Oh,
sweet spots are at 900 and 1800 RPM.
okay. So it's working its way up there, and so
Yeah.
you've got a water source down here being
Yeah.
pulled up from. Is that an aqueous accumulator under there?
That's just the fluid transfer node.
Oh, okay. It doesn't
And
actually need that then.
It doesn't need the aqueous accumulator. It will pull straight from that pool of water, and it turns out that overclocking one of these, I've put, if you right-click on it, you'll see a stupendous number of speed upgrades. And I don't know if the stack upgrades even do anything for fluid,
Oh
but
my.
I put them in there anyway,
Okay. Wow.
because we had us some redstone to spare.
That's true. That's true.
And that turns out to be the fastest way in the game to transfer water into a reactor. That's even faster than using applied energistics
Really?
fluid storage. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And the idea of this is that if, theoretically you could run this as a closed loop. You could just get rid of that part and just have the steam and the water transferred back and forth between these two machines. It's the same amount of fluid. There's nowhere for it to leak out, so you'd never run out. The problem with that is that if the steam pressure or if there's too much water left in the turbine and it can't push it back into the reactor fast enough, the turbine has to slow down and reduce its energy production.
What was that?
Every once in a while, a meteorite crashes nearby or a creeper goes off beneath us.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
not the reactor, is it? I was about to say.
Yeah. I hope it's not the reactor.
That
There's
would be-
nothing in the red that should indicate that.
I don't want to see a giant blade coming flying at me in 3D. Yeah, that would be certainly be it'd be cool to see, but then I'd have to get all my stuff because there'd be a blade sticking out of my skull. I wouldn't want that. This is really cool.
So what this has is an emergency vent, like an overflow venting. So if the condensed water gets too big for the tank, it just vents it out to atmosphere, and then the reactor would be low on water. So that's why I have this extra pipe down here. It can supplement the water if it gets too low.
No, that makes sense. So these little puffs of excess steam coming out, is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's just the same graphic setting that lets you see if there's water directly above you or lava directly above you.
Right. Okay, I see.
Because the steam, in the game terms, the steam is handled just like any other fluid. So if you click on that now, I've activated the coils, I've engaged those coils, and it's generating just about 7,000 RF per tick. And it's still very low. It's only about halfway up. When the RPMs if I disengage those again and let the RPMs climb up to 1,800 or in the neighborhood of 1,800, we'll get 12,500 to 13,000 RF per tick.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of redstone flux per tick.
Yeah. Okay. And then the question is, we have to do something to justify this.
Yeah, it's
beast.
like a mission to consume that much power.